Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to be talking about how to make these 3D flowers. So I looked for them in the market and I didn't see them and I needed to put them on my client's clothes. So I had to make them. So we'll be needing, materials we'll be needing are the fabric. I use satin in this case. We'll also be needing crinoline net. We'll be needing the candle gum and the candlestick. We'll also be needing wire, that's copper wire, and we'll be needing the cup chain. So as you can see, we have started. So I drew the flower pattern, and I'm cutting it out. So I cut this flower pattern. I doubled it. Then I also cut, and then I also made provision for crinoline net, as I cut the crinoline net in the same pattern to put in the middle. So now we're going to gum it. So you can see that we are using the candle gum on the crinoline net to gum the satin to the crinoline net. So that's what we are doing right now. We are gumming it, and you will soon see how it turns out. I also put a little gum in the middle so that it sticks in the middle too. So now I'm placing the satin on the crinoline net. Okay, so after this stage of placing the satin on the crinoline net, and we'll also cross-check to see whether all parts have stuck to the net, and gum any places that have not stuck yet to the net with the candle gum. Okay, so after all this, you also do your checks and make sure that all is stuck on the net. Right? Then the next thing we'll do after this is to what I'm trying to do here is because I saw some irregularities, so I'm trying to straighten out the irregularities. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so that it turns out well and straight. Then there are other ways to do this 3D flower. So this is just the way I did mine. There are other ways to come about this. So, it's just good to learn the different methods and know which one works best for you. So now we want to put the copper wire at the back of the crinoline net. The copper wire is what will actually give it structure and make it stand. Without the copper wire, it's not going to stand. It's not going to have a structure as far. It will not be able to bend and stay bent, So it's the wire that will actually make it to bend, to have a structure and still stay that way. That's the major work of the copper wire, to make whatever structure you are doing to stay exactly how you want it to stay, and to also stand on the outfit, to stand out on the outfit. So now we are putting the wire behind and we are making sure that it goes around the flower. Now you don't need to put the wire towards the tail end of the flower, because of course we will need to cover up the flowers. We will need to cover up the wire with satin, and at the end we'll still use fire to burn the edges. Or another way that we would have done this is to use soldering iron to cut out the flower pieces, but this way also works too. So if we had used the soldering iron to cut out the flower pieces, we would not have frayed ends. Frayed ends, sorry. We will not have frayed ends. All the ends will be sharp. But since I used scissors, I'll have to burn the edges. So back to the wire works. So we are putting the wire works round and making sure it all is all stay. So if you even notice, as we're putting the wire work, if you notice, the flower is already standing, as in it's already caving in and trying to give its own structure. So you can see that even without we bending it manually, the flower is already, giving us the vibe of standing. You know. So now we're going to cover up the wire works. Of course, we can't leave it this way so that it doesn't show, since the flower is going to bend in. Okay, since it's going to bend in, it has to be the same thing that they're seeing outside that they're seeing inside. So you have to make sure it's like that. Okay, so you make sure you cover up, and make sure your, as in the gums, everything is all is all gummed and steady, basically. That's what we're doing right now. Yeah. So so this is the last one that we're putting the candle gum for now. As in, this, of course, this is the first flower, and this is the last part we're putting the hair. So this is how it looks, right? This is how it looks for now. So to finish it up, we're going to be using the cup. Not really, we're still, of course, going to still embellish the flower embellish the inside of the flower, but to finish up the edge of the flower, we're going to use the cup chain to achieve that. We're going to use the cup chain to achieve that. Now remember, like I said, we're still going to burn the edges of the flower, so we're not going to put all the, as in, of course, even if we're going to put it at the edge, we're going to put it in such a way that we can still burn the edges of the flower and the cup chain is not affected in any way. So that's what we're doing now. We're putting the cup chain at the edge of the flowers so that it turns out beautifully. And of course, we'll still do more embellishing inside. While we're still going to cut out some things, some embellishing from the fabric, and still adorn the flower, the insides of the flower, the way we want it to be. So this is it. We are putting the cup chain around the flower and we're almost done. So this cup chain, actually, what the I think the essence of the cup chain is actually to give it, a as in to outline the edges of the flower. It's good to outline the edges of this flower. So I think that's the reason. And of course, while outlining the edges, it also makes it beautiful. It also adds the aesthetics to it. And that's it. So we're almost done. Initially I went to the market and I looked for this flower, and they kept on telling me that it's not available. I can do it. I can create my own. So of course I had to now look for ways to create my own that would look like very similar to the one in the picture. So now we're done putting the edges of this particular flower around. Now, if you notice, you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to bend in the flower because the flower is not straight. It's not flat. It curves in. So, and of course, thank God for the wire works that we've put. It affords it the ability. So this is the finished work. You can see how we embellished the inside, and you can see how beautiful it's looking. So we had to embellish the inside of the flower, and we had to pinch it a bit in the middle so that it curves in well. Thank you for watching. See you next time.